Hi, this is Spot. We're activists and button artists from Charlottesville, Virginia. Um, this is our very first YouTube video on our very first YouTube channel. Um, we've actually been taught on and off of having a YouTube channel where Elizabeth of our household can give lectures. Sorry can show out her fashion designs. Caliban could display his crosses and explain some of what that's all about. Um, but what has inspired us to really get started now is something I wanted to introduce in the form of a fool's bauble. We usually these days use our umbrella parasol. It's kind of become our trademark in town um, these days, but we do actually have a traditional fool's bauble, which represents some of the duality. It's used in more courtly settings. Um, but for today, we have a special one that was made up, and I want to introduce Liar Tuck. Um, he's kind of in conceptual status here because just how much work you want to put into a Liar Tuck. But if you are an artist of any kind and want to build to a Liar Tuck hashtag, you know, drawing, painting, puppet making, cosplay, whatever, that would be great. And if you're on DeviantArt, we'll give you a llama. Um, this is, when we think about it, it's like the first politically oriented song that we've written in about 35 years. And it's worth bringing up that song because at that time we were a community organizer in Philadelphia, and we would often be involved in organizing sing-alongs. It was used as an organizing tool, and we were good at remembering the words to lyrics and explaining the meanings of the song, but we didn't have that good of a voice, and so it encouraged people to join along because we could do it, you could do it, you know. Um, and we also occasionally wrote songs, uh, and we wrote that last song was based on the move incident, and of course, a part of that incident was that the explosives that we used to destroy the move house subsequently burnt down the entire block and caused smoke damage to all the blocks around it, actually, because you have pretty huge fire there. Um, and what caused that was they had used C4, which is a military grade plastic explosion. And it's like, how did they have that? And they, of course, learned that it came from the Pentagon. And the Pentagon just said, well, it came long before the move incident started. I mean, this first one, not the earlier one. And, they had some C4 left, so they sent it out just in case they needed it for anything. And it's like, what? And it's, conspiracy theories. Yeah, just in case they needed it. And it's like, what's next? Secondhand tanks? Well, of course, did you think that? But anyway, that's what happened. And a lot of and of course, there were serious reporters looking at what this program was about, but a lot of the energy or curiosity was diverted to these wild ideas because it didn't make sense. Because that's the trouble; it doesn't make sense. We're still doing it today, um, and so what inspired that song was one of the people talking about said, "Well, it's just a small bit of plastic explosives," and that became the song. It was a small bomb after all, but this one has to do with a concept of utterance. And utterance is, there's two ways you understand what I'm saying to you right now. One is what I utter, to you, and what I express, and what I say, and what I believe, and what's saying. And then there's the linguistic elements of what you hear. And, they've even tested that in dogs. Okay, dogs, do they understand language or they just feel you emotionally, whatever? And they tested and they found out they had two speakers in the room, voice coming out of the two one. One time it was just communicating literally, like, do that. And the other one is kind of using the emotive type speaking. And the dog would respond to each speaker because a different part of his brain, they were tracing it in. And one part of that, this side, that side, this side, that side. And so, and the thing is a human, if you read some of the writings of um, Oliver Sacks, gets into a lot of this really fascinating things, how the brain works and the mechanics of it. But that can be damaged. And they still understand what people say, even though they don't understand the words, they understand what the person's uttering. But if you show a word to people with this condition, a speech, and there's a famous incident Oliver describes in one of his books where there's a war to people with this condition, and they have President Ronald Reagan speaking, and they're all breaking out belly laughs, falling on the floor, laughing, because you know what? It looks crazy. Because they can tell that he is acting, his facial expressions. It's creating. It's the same thing. That it's a paradox because his facial expressions is one serious, but what he's actually believing, it's just lying. And so it's either a lie or it's comedy. So that's what kind of inspired me about, and I'm going to try to explain this principle uh, with Liar Tuck here. The look of lies is in your eyes. The look you're not does not deny. The look of lies with more profound concern than any word you say. And when a guest speaks up, you look the same damn way. Oh, how long till you inherit rap? Feel your fingers wrap around it. How long you've been waiting for that old goal, soon to be your own goal. You got that look of lies, it's on your face as you say history's been erased. Curfew tonight, my poor stock folio, don't let it end like this. Let us take a bold last dance and off yours ass will kiss. He can hardly wait to hold it, wrap his arms around it. How long he's been waiting for that old gold, soon to be his own gold. That's Swanson's gold. Talk about your chokehold, 'cause he'll never let go. Let me change hats here. And just wrap up. Remember, subscribe. Tucker, you're running out of me. Hashtag Liar Tuck. Mom is involved if you want one. Um, Subscribe, and remember, in this day and time, 70 years ago, people learned that the only thing required for evil to succeed is for good people to know it. They do nothing. And so that's important for all of us to be able to stand up there and say, Ikban and Tifa. Have a good day.